Good morning. I'm the Reverend Justine Sullivan. I use she, her pronouns, and I have the honor of serving as one of your ministers here. Our opening words are from the book Spilling the Light by the Reverend Julian Jamaica Soto. Some people are used to keeping rules. Don't cross the street when the light is red, only sensible. It turns out that keeping rules isn't the same as keeping covenant, which asks us, instead of keeping a bright line, to keep our promises. To what have we promised ourselves? To this moment in time and place, to this community, and even tenderly interconnected this planet. We promise ourselves to the idea that we are each and all human beings. We promise that there is something moving between us that we cannot tame and cannot measure. The chalice is a reminder that what flame we keep inside us cannot light the way. The light must spill to shine. The thing you must be is yourself, unadulterated, shedding the willingness to journey alone as though you are made of something hard and unforgivable. You are human. You belong right here, right now. And together we will chase away the sickness, the secrets, and leave only the open possibility that future is a space for growth.
Please rise in body or spirit and sing, Morning Has Come.
Good morning, and welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of San Diego, where we worship each Sunday at South Bay, in Hillcrest, and online.
Buenos días y bienvenidos a la primera Iglesia Unitaria Universalista de San Diego, donde adoramos cada domingo en South Bay, en Hillcrest y en línea.
I am the Reverend Kristen Kuriga. I serve as one of your ministers, and I use the pronouns she and her. A special welcome to those of you who are here for the first time. We invite you to fill out a visitor card in your order of service.
Me llamo Tomás Acosta y uso los pronombres he, him, él. Una bienvenida muy especial a todos los que están con nosotros por primera vez. Les extendemos la invitación de rellenar el formulario en el orden de servicio.
Our community is a vital, diverse, multi-generational congregation without borders, with a mission to create community, nurture spiritual growth, and act on our values to help heal the world.
Somos una congregación compuesta de personas de distintas identidades racializadas y culturas, personas de diversas orientaciones sexuales e identidades de género, personas de varias habilidades mentales y físicas.
We are creators of community and compassion, and though we can fall short, we're committed to practicing an affirming welcome to all.
Con espíritu de reverencia reconocemos que nos juntamos esta mañana en la tierra de los Kumeyaay, quienes continúan viviendo en todo su territorio. Al emprender este viaje juntos, mantengamos en nuestros corazones y mentes el pueblo Kumeyaay.
In a spirit of reverence, we acknowledge that we gather this morning on the land of the Kumeyaay, who continue to live throughout their territories. May the light of this candle shine for our commitment to the Kumeyaay people and to justice and equity for Indigenous people everywhere.
Please rise to sing the church hymn and our aspiration.
To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, and to help one another in fellowship. This is our aspiration. Que el amor sea la doctrina de esta iglesia, la búsqueda de la verdad, su sacramento, y el servicio, su oración. Vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad con libertad, y ayudarnos mutuamente en comunidad. A eso aspiramos.
Good morning, friends. I'd like to invite any of the children or youth who would like to come up and join me for our time for all ages. Oh, here comes some. Good morning. Hi. There's some space over here if you want, Esther. Well, good morning, friends. Today in our service, we're thinking in a lot of different ways about covenant. Do you know what covenant is? You ever heard that word before? No, it's kind of a big word. It's a kind of a promise, but it's a special kind of promise that we make that's sort of like a sacred promise. You know, it's a little bit different than saying, like, I promise I'll go to the park with you next week. It's a different kind of promise about how we want to be when we're together with each other. So our story for today is called I Promise. And it's by LeBron James. That's him right there. He is a basketball player. And what I like about this book is just it's a series of promises. But I don't know about you, and I don't know about you, but sometimes I read things or see things and I think, oh, I like that. And then sometimes I see things and I think, maybe I would word it a little differently or put it a different way. Do you ever do that, Unitarian Universalists? No? Yeah. So what I'd like you to do is think about as I read the promises, think about if you really like it and you're 100% on board, or maybe you would change a few words, you know? Like LeBron James was a basketball player, so he's thinking about kids and sports. We might change a couple words. Or maybe if it's something that you feel like you could be on board with at all, you can do a thumbs down. Do you think you can do that? Because it's important when we covenant that we all can agree wholeheartedly with our whole hearts and minds with what we're promising. So let's try it. I don't have enough hands to do it with you, but if you want to do it, you can. Yes, or maybe, or nah. So this is I Promise by LeBron James. I promise to work hard and do what's right, to be a leader in this game of life. What do you think? Yeah? Yes? No? Maybe? I promise to go to school and read as much as I can, to follow the rules and respect the game plan. Oh, yeah, to decide. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that game, respecting the game plan. Depends on what the game plan is, right? I promise to run full court and show up each time, to get right back up and let my magic shine. Oh, there we go. I promise to be open and try new things and enjoy the happy that change can bring. Oh, pretty good. I promise to wear a big smile and use kindness when I speak, to remain strong yet humble with every win and defeat. I'm kind of like this. I don't know if I'd always wear a smile. Sometimes it's okay to not have a smile. I promise to ask for help whenever I need it, to reach for my star even when I can't see it. Oh, I'm looking at you all out there too. I promise to ask questions and find answers, to believe in next time and second chances. I like that one. I promise to use my voice and stand up for what's right, and when things get tough, to keep up the fight. Oh, I see a lot of thumbs up out there. I promise to stand tall, rise up, and give all that I've got, to throw the alley-oop and uplift others on the spot. I promise to respect my elders and peers the same, to leave new places better than I came. Oh, a little bit sideways. I promise to stay true, keep my head up, and never give up no matter what. I promise to dream big and love bigger, to be a team player and a winner. I promise to cross bridges and break down walls, to rise with the sun and learn from the falls. I promise to be courageous, to be free, to strive for greatness. I promise to be me. Oh, I can promise that one. Well, friends, thank you for listening to those promises with me, and I'm glad that you were thinking about them. And some of them I saw some sideways hands. I would agree. Some of them I think I would change some of those words. And as I said, that's important. When we're promising in a covenant how we want to be together, it's important that we really all agree with what we're promising. So if you would help me, we're going to stand up here, and we're going to lead the congregation in our affirmation. We'll say it first in English and then in Spanish. We are Unitarian Universalists, a people of open minds, loving hearts, and welcoming hands. Somos Unitarios Universalistas, personas de mentes abiertas, corazones amorosos y manos que dan la bienvenida. And now I invite any of the children or youth who'd like to join me and their other leaders out on the patio, and we'll go to religious education.
So as our children head out, we have a few special announcements this morning. One is that we have lay ministers available every Sunday on the patio after service. If you have a joy or a sorrow to share, they can offer a listening presence. This morning's lay minister is Elise Ford. I wanted to let you know that on Sunday, September 29th, after the service, that you can join the first UU The Vote team for a postcard writing party during social hour. So this is a great opportunity to continue the work to help protect our democracy and to act on our values. And I want to invite you to save the date for the Day of Healing. It's a morning of spiritual practice workshops and activities for all ages. It's on October 12th. There's a flyer inside your order of service that has more information, and it also has a QR code and a bit.ly link that you can register at. One way that we live our values is by sharing our offering each week with a local organization working for justice. Throughout the month of September, our offering is being received in support of the San Diego Organizing Project. SDOP is this multi-faith network of congregations that represents 30,000 families here in San Diego. And one of the main things that they've been advocating around is something that is close to the hearts of many of the folks in this room, which is they've been advocating for affordable housing and to lift people out of homelessness. In October of 2023, Governor Newsom signed a bill that was part of SDOP's campaign called Home is Sacred. SB 4 opened up affordable housing on faith-based land. This is expediting the ability of housing development on lands owned by religious institutions and nonprofit colleges, which opens up 171,000 acres of land that's now available for housing in California. So you may donate this morning here in person by credit card using the dip jars. You can also put a check in our donation boxes. If you need assistance, don't hesitate to raise your hand. And also, please remember you can always donate online, whether you're at home or right here on your phone by going to firstuusandiego.org. Thank you so much for your generosity. This morning's offering will now be gratefully received. want to invite us now into a time of just more fully settling in and arriving here. So if it feels good, you might close your eyes and turn your attention inward. I want to invite you just to feel your body in the seat. Maybe notice where your legs or your back touch the seat. Feel that support, that contact. And then bring your attention to the breath, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Noticing the rise and fall of your belly. The breath animating your body. Take a moment to just check in with yourself. How is your body this morning? No need to judge or change, just to notice. How is your mind this morning? How is your heart, your soul? Just take a moment to just fully arrive here, noticing everything you bring with you with loving kindness. If it feels good, you must just place a hand on your heart. Feel the comfort and weight of making contact with the heart center. And then as you're willing and able, I invite you to open your eyes and just look around you. To notice the space, the people that you're here with. See who else has arrived here today in this place. Thank you for being fully here, present together. Blessed be.
And now we would like to invite Kathleen Owens to come up and join us here on the chancel. This morning we have the joyful task of welcoming Reverend Kathleen Owens into this community as a member. As you know, Kathleen served here as minister from 2007 to 2021, the final 7 of those years as your lead minister. Kathleen has since retired from active ministry, and it is her desire to be a member here with her wife, Jan, to attend worship and events, and to enter into the life of this congregation as a member. And Reverend Kristen and I are happy to welcome Kathleen back into membership.
As ministers in fellowship with our Unitarian Universalist Association, we already share a covenant that we will continue to be guided by. But in addition, there are some promises that we want to make to one another on this day. Kathleen, we pledge to be your ministers, to offer you and Jan whatever support and spiritual nourishment that you need.
And I pledge to do everything that I can to support your ministry. I will not take a leadership role here, and I will not offer rites of passage for any members. And I am delighted about this welcome and my transition into being a member of the congregation. My re-entry will happen slowly, and I am grateful for your patience as we make this transition together. My goal is to enjoy my retirement with my wife, Jan, in this community that is our spiritual home.
We further pledge that if conflict or misunderstanding arises between us, among us, we will deal with it openly and directly. If we need help resolving an issue, we will seek help. Kathleen, you are important to us and to this congregation, and we pledge to nurture our relationship with you. Welcome. To make it official, we will sign our covenant, and the full text will be posted on our website, and a link to that will be in the window.
begin to fall. all my worldly ways. Join that heavenly band. Oh, my Lord, what a morning. My Lord, what a morning. Oh, my Lord, what a morning. When the sky began to fall. Don't quit all my worldly ways. Join the heavenly band. Don't quit all my worldly ways. Join that heavenly band. Oh, my Lord, what a morning. My Lord, what a morning. Oh, my Lord, what a morning. When the stars begin to fall. When the stars begin to fall.
Covenant by Reverend Dr. Rebecca Parker. Let us covenant with one another to keep faith with the source of life, knowing that we are not our own. Earth made us. Let us covenant to keep faith with the community of resistance, never to forget that life can be saved from that which threatens it by even small bands of people choosing to put into practice an alternate way of life. And let us covenant with one another to seek for an ever deeper awareness of that which springs up inwardly in us. Even when our hearts are broken by our own failure or the failure of others, cutting into our lives, even when we have done all that we can and life is still broken, there is a universal love that has never broken faith with us and never will. This is the ground of our hope and the reason we can be bold in seeking to fulfill the promise.
My Lord, what a morning.
So this morning, we want to explore the meaning of covenant, and particularly what covenant means as Unitarian Universalists. And since covenant is about relationship, we thought it would make sense to have a conversation about what covenant means. And so I want to start by asking you, like for you, what is covenant?
What is covenant? Well, of course, Tony's story did a beautiful job, and he always has such wonderful introductions. But covenant is, I mean, by definition, it's about promises. But if you think about, if I could just expand, I am a Unitarian Universalist, so I'm going to expand the question a little bit. I think about how many times I have heard people say, oh, Unitarian Universalism, that's where you can believe whatever you want. Have you heard that? And then it's hard to combat that, right? Because it's like, well, technically, I guess we could believe, what feels true for us. But really the problem is that that's the wrong question, right? Because belief isn't what defines us. What defines us is how we are together. Covenant is at the heart of our faith, because really, if you were going to ask us what Unitarian Universalists believe in, I would say we believe in each other. We believe in the power of community and communal action, and the only way that can work is if we have agreements together about how we're going to be as we go forward together.
Yeah, that makes me think of, if you look at the centering thought today, Martin Buber talks about humans as these promise-making, promise-keeping, promise-breaking, promise-renewing people. That actually what makes us human, and it's one of our special capacities, is that ability to make promises to each other. And that it's totally natural, right? That we make them, that we work at keeping them, that we will break them, every single one of us, and that we renew them. And I think about covenant as that desire to make promises that are sacred. They're not rules, right? So our opening words talked about rules. They're not rules, they're promises. And they're more sacred than rules. They're agreements. They're something I say, this is what it would look like if we lived our values as Unitarian Universalists. This is what it would look like if it was embodied. And we know that we're going to fall short. And so we also put into the covenant, how do we repair? How do we renew? How do we come back to those promises that we make?
That second part is harder, isn't it? It's one thing to make promises, but what happens when we fall short? We say that every Sunday in our opening words of welcome, right? That even though sometimes we will fall short, we really work to extend a welcome to all. We intend to be our best selves, and it's an aspiration. We will do our best to keep moving toward a time when the world is more just, is more fair, is more loving.
Yeah, I love what you said about why for Unitarian Universalism covenant is so important. And I think that is because we don't have shared beliefs. So then what's going to hold us together? Wait, what's going to hold this container that allows us to search for truth and meaning and allows us to act for justice? What's going to be that thing? And I think of covenant as that set of agreements that holds a container that holds us together. But I'm also thinking about, covenant was originally about commitments you made to God, right? So what does that mean for Unitarian Universalists who don't all have the same theology? And I've been thinking about that quite a bit. That for me, there's like levels of covenant. I make promises to myself, right, about how I want to be in integrity and authenticity. I then make promises to the people who I am in community with, and in this Unitarian Universalist congregation particularly, what are the promises we make? And then for me, I do also make promises to the spirit of life and love, right? What is the agreement of how I will be accountable to that which is larger than me? And for some people, that will be community, some that will be God. For me, that language of spirit and life and love, it's like, I vow to be accountable to the way that spirit of life and love moves in the world. So I wonder for you, like, who do you covenant to and who is covenant between?
Ooh, I didn't know you were going to ask me that. Oh, gosh. It is, it's a little vulnerable, right, to talk about what we mean when we say covenanting with the sacred. I believe that I am called to serve people, but also something more than just the humans that I encounter, right? I do believe that I am called to serve the spirit of love. And I think where covenant and promises can be helpful is when we have competing commitments, right? It's easy when the thing that you're supposed to do is also the thing that is easy to do. But how do we decide between two options, neither of which feels particularly complete? And I think going back to that, well, what are the larger promises that we've made? What does love call us to do? What does the spirit of life call us to do? People use the word God, but I feel like the word God is way too small and confining for whatever that is. Like when Tomas was singing, that feeling that I could just feel this electricity in the room between us, and I'm sure people listening at home felt it too. Whatever that is, that's what I want to be in touch with, in connection with. So that's what I include in the promises that I make when I think about covenant.
And that makes me think about some of the work we've been going through with the denomination about how we re-articulate our values. And the new Article 2, they really wanted it to be a covenant. And at the center of that covenant is love. And I think that was and is, as Unitarian Universalists, our attempt to say, what is this larger force that we are connected to, that we're accountable to, and that calls us to be for it to live through us, right, through our actions. And so I really love the way that connects. And so I think about a lot about how covenant is about love and about love in action. And I don't know about you, but I know like love isn't always easy, right? We get into disagreements, we break promises, we hurt each other even though we didn't mean to. Like, have you ever, like, I've hurt people I love, and it's hard. And so I wonder about how covenant can help us when we've hurt each other, even if we didn't mean to, or when maybe we've broken our promises.
Right, that song that we sing, Come, Come, Whoever You Are, the part we often leave out, but I think is actually essential, is though you've broken your vow 1,000 times, come. Come whoever you are, with all that you are. And I think all we can do is keep coming back. And I think covenant, with that capital C covenant, is the thing that lets us come back even though we've broken our vows 1,000 times.
Yeah, and that makes me think about how, covenant isn't about punishment. It's about, I've agreed to these things and I'm being called back in to how I want to be in the world. And we're lovingly holding ourselves and one another accountable to our deepest held values. And so I think about covenant almost as like a guiding force in our lives, right? Something that says, come back in. You've broken your vow, but come back in, right? So that invitation to keep coming back to who we really want to be as a people of faith, who we want to be as Unitarian Universalists, who we want to be as loving people in the world. And I think as Unitarian Universalists, our whole faith is about that, right? It's not about what happens after we die. It's about how we live in this moment right here with the people we are in relationship with, right?
So I want to ask you a tough question. Because, in some ways, even though we hate rules and we love to break rules, rules are easier, right? Because if you do something, it's either, in keeping with the rules or it's outside the rules. So what do we do when we break the rules? How do we decide what the right thing is?
Yeah. I think one of the things about covenant for me is about how important self-reflection is, right? So if someone says, hey, that feels out of covenant, am I willing to say, to pause, to look inside and to really assess both what was my intention, what happened, what am I hearing that what the impact was to the other person. So I think some is about self-reflection, some is about deep listening, and I'm also thinking about the covenant. It actually in the book that Tony read was about, and I'll ask for help when I need it. Like sometimes we don't know how to come back into covenant. Sometimes we need a mediator, or as ministers we need a good officer, or we need Pacific Western Regional staff, right? And that's vulnerable, right? So I would say like coming back to covenant is also about risking vulnerability. It's about knowing that even if I have maybe broken the rules or failed in keeping one of my commitments, like that's about my behavior, not my essential personhood. I am still whole and sacred and holy, and every single one of you is too. And sometimes I need help to really find my way back to the agreements I've made.
So this is the hard part, and this is what makes it a practice, right? We think about covenant as a noun, right? Like the 10 Commandments, a list of rules, but really we're using covenant as a process, as a verb, as a way of being, and a process of discernment to figure out together how do we move forward, which is very different from let's just find it in the bylaws, 4.9-2, then we'll find the rule, but more, if I harm you, are you willing to let me know and enter into a conversation with me that is reflective, and even if I can use this word, prayerful, but a place that makes room for the holy to help us decide together how we can get back to community and back to a place where love is at the center. So what Kristen and I want to know is, will you be on this journey with each other and with us?
So I think this is a beautiful segue. One of the things that I think is interesting is that as our theology evolved and we moved away from this idea of original sin, what we also moved away from was rituals of forgiveness and renewal, right? We don't do that many rituals as Unitarian Universalists about atonement or about honoring when we've made a mistake and asking for forgiveness. And so we've built into this service a liturgy that is part of our tradition, that is about that. And so we want to invite you now into a liturgy with us called We Begin Again in Love. So as we really work on what it means to be a promise-making, promise-keeping, promise-breaking, promise-renewing people, we want to invite you to renew some promises with us. It has a sung response, and so Justine is going to sing the sung response the first time so you can hear it. And then I'm going to speak the words, and every time the sung response comes in, Justine will help lead in that.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. Will you sing that with me? We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For remaining silent when a single voice would have made a difference.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For each time that our fears have made us rigid and inaccessible.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
for each time that we have struck out in anger without just cause.
Forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For each time that our greed has blinded us to the needs of others. For the selfishness which sets us apart and alone.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For falling short of the admonitions of the Spirit. For losing sight of our unity.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
For those and so many acts, evident and subtle, which have fueled the illusion of our separateness.
We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love.
Amen. So we have one more thing we'd like to do together before we leave, which is Reverend Justine and I have also created a covenant, and we'd like to share that covenant with you this morning. As the ministers serving the First Unitarian Universalist Church of San Diego, our covenant is grounded in our love and our commitment to serve this congregation, Unitarian Universalism, and the sacred in the world with authenticity and integrity. Our covenant is also rooted in our care and respect for one another as colleagues and as members of the Unitarian Universalist Ministers Association.
We commit to honor and celebrate each other's unique gifts, skills, and wisdom, work together as a team and to be reliable and trustworthy, talk about hard things and to risk being vulnerable, cultivate curiosity and compassion, make time for laughter and joy, support one another and uphold healthy boundaries, and when we fall short of these commitments, to listen deeply, engage in self-reflection, seek repair, and practice forgiveness. As a congregation, will you support us in living into these promises as your ministers?
Spirit of life and love, thank you for this opportunity to serve this sacred calling. Support us in living into these commitments so that this shared ministry may help this congregation and our faith to thrive. Guide us in times of challenge and show us the power of grace. May these sacred promises, this covenant, be a blessing. Amen. us go forth led by love, continuing to make sacred promises to one another, and when we fall short, beginning again in love, beginning again in love. Blessed be and go in peace.